All right, moving on. Well, from last week. So we're doing Jesus' instructions, all of the instructions that Jesus gave in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Of course, the whole Bible is Jesus' instructions. Jesus is the Word of God. He's the living Word. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. So Jesus is the Word, but we're looking in particular about his instructions that he gave when he walked this earth. He came, he gave us instructions, and he left. His instructions helpful to us how to live. So, simple instructions that if we just remember them, follow them, it's going to help us every day of our lives. It's going to, you don't have to think a lot about what to do. Just do the instructions, whatsoever he saith unto you. So Jesus' first instruction, this was from last week, just a review. His first instruction was, follow him. He went to the disciples, gathered his disciples, goes to these fishermen. He says, follow me, I will make you fishers of men. So his first instruction, follow me. Follow Jesus. If we get that in our minds, the first thing, follow him. Don't follow your heart. Don't follow other people. Follow Jesus. And so that, it sounds simple, enough, but if we get that, our first inclination, our first course of action, follow what Jesus says. All right, so second instruction, moving on, the second instruction we find in Matthew chapter 5. This is Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, and I saw where some people were reading Matthew chapter 5 and 6 and 7 just in the past few days, and that's good. We find a lot of his instructions in his Sermon on the Mount. So the second instruction in Matthew chapter 5, well, there's the Beatitudes, but I don't know if I would consider them instructions exactly. It says, blessed are the poor in spirit. Well, that's, that is our attitude that we should have. But I'm looking at instruction. So we're going to start with verse 12 because it starts out with an imperative. Rejoice. And whenever you see that, there's no subject. You have the verb rejoice. It is implied you rejoice. So rejoice, that is the instruction. Rejoice. Have joy. Be joyful. So, you might think that, well, I can't do that. I have all these things that are making me depressed. No, we don't do that. We don't go there. Just rejoice. All right, so I'm going to help you out here, so don't worry. But it's a command, it's an instruction. Rejoice. So it's kind of like you will be happy and you will like it. But rejoice, have joy. Now, okay, so some practical ideas how to do that. You might not think that they're practical, but we'll get into that more later. And I can explain. If you don't have trouble understanding it, I can help explain more to you individually. But how to rejoice. So we're supposed to rejoice. rejoice is have joy. Again, is again, joyce is joy. How to rejoice? Well, first thing I'm going to say is smile. I know it sounds silly. It sounds kind of shallow, maybe even. Just keep smiling. Yeah, okay, I did that, and I'm still not happy. All right, but sometimes it does help you. It helps to jar you out of the way that you're feeling. Smile. That is the ends of your mouth turned upwards, in case you don't know what a smile is. Change your face. A smile is contagious. All right, so change your face. My oldest brother, he's a pastor. He has 4 kids. His first child he had a daughter first, so she was the oldest in the family. And when she got to be somewhere in the teenage years, you know how teenagers get, a lot of times where they get testy and, they get attitudes. And she started to get a sour disposition. I don't know what it was. I was there at the time. And, so she wasn't happy, and my brother, how did he deal with it? He told her, change your face. That's what he told her. And so she obeyed. She didn't rebel. And she put a smile on her face eventually, and she got the corners of her mouth up. And then things started to change. So she started to change her attitude after that. So be glad. All right, another thing. So that's one thing, smile. Another thing is sing. In church, we sing songs, Jesus loves me. We sing, glory, I'm saved, glory, I'm saved. We sing songs like, how beautiful heaven must be. And I love to hear songs about heaven, and songs about being saved, and songs about God's love, and songs about God's mercy, and all kinds of good songs. Well, you don't have to be in church. You can be driving down the road, or you can be in your home, and you can sing, and singing will lift your spirit. So I don't know how many times where I've been in gotten down, been in the doldrums, and I started to sing the hymns, the spiritual songs, and it lifted my spirit. So it's all a matter of the mind, anyhow. It's what you're thinking. So you direct your thoughts with the songs. Music is powerful. That's why there's a lot of people that want to kill themselves, and there's, when they get the music in their head, awful music. I mean, lyrics of songs today that talk about suicide, and other bad things, it's taking them the wrong direction. So you get good, godly music, good Christian music. There's a need for us to do that, to get good Christian music into the hands of people. Not all music is good. So modern Christianity, they use the rhythms and beats of the world and rock and country and pop and whatever else. And, and then there's a lot of the modern Christian music is shallow in their lyrics, what it says, when you just repeat the same thing, same line over and over again. But, for instance, you take the hymns from the hymn book, and these are potent words, they're rich, full of meaning. People that had bigger vocabularies, and they are able to express very well thoughts about God. So, music. What else? All right, having good thoughts. All right, so thinking is exercising your brain. Think on good things. Whatsoever things are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, good report. If there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. So, good things. I'm alive. I have a home. I have a job. I have clothing. I have something to eat. It might not be what I like to eat, but it is food. Another good thought. I'm going to heaven. I mean, if you know for sure you're going to heaven, if you don't know that for sure, then that's terrible, that you don't have that assurance. I was that way for a long time. One of the greatest days of my life was when I was totally convinced, had full assurance that I was on my way to heaven. And didn't have any doubt after that whatsoever. So, good thoughts. All right, so there is a way to rejoice. So, rejoice. Yeah, well, Jesus said this about being persecuted. Rejoice and be exceeding glad in verse 12. For great is your reward in heaven. So, if you're persecuted for the cause of Christ, hey, you're going to heaven. You're going to have great reward there. Jesus is going to reward you for whatever you had to endure on this earth. All right, so first instruction Jesus gave, follow him. Second instruction, rejoice. Next instruction, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So the next instruction is shine. Shine your light. Everywhere you go, ask yourself, is my light shining? You got saved, you have the light, let it shine for others. Yeah, it does. Yeah, so whenever things seem like it's dark, there's no use, it's impossible, hey, that is where there's the greatest possibility. It's not an option. It's not, I'll turn my light on now. No, Jesus said, shine. Have it. You have to keep it on always. You can't think, well, I'm on vacation right now, and I don't have to let my light shine. Nobody around here knows me, so I can let my guard down. No. Everywhere we are, we need to shine our light. Then there is bringing glory to God by having a good show. My kids have helped me with this. Pretty good kids. They got their flaws. We won't go into that. But many people have been attracted to knowing more about the Lord or coming to church or whatever because of seeing my kids being good. So, shining the light. If you do a good job at your work, if you do a good job, that's shining your light. If you do a bad job, then you're not. If you're a good neighbor, that is shining your light. Then there is bringing illumination, showing them how to be saved. One way we can do that, give out tracts. We have tracts in the back there. You can take those with you, give them out wherever you go, at the stores, to the cashier, to someone you meet in the store, at the doctor's office, everywhere you go, wherever you go. You can even leave them in the restrooms, just put them down on top of the commode or, whatever. Then there is actually showing people how to be saved. Jesus said, follow me and I'll make you to become fishers of men, fishing for souls to be saved. This is our instruction. Seek to win souls. Keep it in your mind every day. And if you do that, then you'll find yourself, you're going to start asking people about if they're going to heaven. You'll start doing that. All right, so shine. That's another instruction. Follow, rejoice, shine. Next one, verse 17. Before we continue on, I said there's about 35, 40, maybe 45 or 50 instructions that I can see. If you find any more, then let me know. And if you see any in particular, that you want to go over, to spend more time on, let me know. But the next one, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. All right, so I call this instruction, keep the law, God's law. Jesus made it a point to say this, that Moses' law has not been deleted. Not deleted. It has not been interrupted. And so this is kind of like a pre-processor directive, if you know what that is. But get in your mind right now, ahead of time, till heaven and earth pass. He said in verse 18, till heaven and earth pass, not one jot or one tittle. That is, not one line of instruction, not one of God's commands is going to fail till all be fulfilled. Till all be fulfilled. This will guide us. Many do not have this guidance because they're not following Jesus' instructions. All right. So, follow, rejoice, shine, keep the law, so simple instructions. Just, if you have this, keep going over the, have them flip through your mind as you go through your day, and I think it's going to help you. Now, this is just one way of looking at how to be helped. There's different ways that we can approach it. We're approaching it from this angle right now in this series of lessons. You might want to write these instructions down so that you'll have them, memorize them, have it so it pops into your mind. What am I doing? I'm going to keep the law. What am I doing? Going to rejoice. What am I doing? Follow the Lord. What am I doing? Going to shine my light. All right, so next, verse 22. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. What's that? That was 21. Sorry. Verse 22. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. All right, so here's the instruction. Stay calm. Stay calm. Don't let your anger take you away. Don't be angry without a cause. Anger in itself is not a bad thing. We're not going to go over that right now, but just say that it's why we get angry and what we do with it that is the problem. And there's a whole bunch of verses on that if you want to, we can go over that. Let me know. But I was going to go on, but I just wanted to say that stay calm. Stay calm. You can, yeah, but most of the time we don't. Most of the time we get angry for the wrong reasons. Most of the time it's a selfish reason. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. So there's a bunch of verses here that show how that, anger, It's not something that we have a reason, unless we have a really good reason. It has to be one that is not selfish. That would be, getting angry against, the devil, against sin, but if it's just that someone else has slighted us or someone else has inconvenienced us or whatever it is, that's not a good reason. So staying calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. As I say, count to 10, all right? Some people need to count more than that. Some people need to count 10 minutes, 10 hours. All right, stay calm. Stay calm. Remain calm. If we could just get that in our heads, whenever something comes along, why did you do that? Stay calm. Be calm. Murder begins in the heart. If you are angry with someone, then that can lead to murder. All right, so stay calm. All right, next, verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. So the next instruction is don't lust. All right, so this, a lot of other sins don't make any sense. Why would I want to stick a weed in my mouth, and puff on it? Why would I want to, a bunch of things that, just don't seem to make any sense. But, it's a natural desire that God has given to every person, just about every person. There's some people that may not have this, and they have a certain place, but that's probably less than 1% of the population. Pretty much everyone has this natural desire to to reproduce, so what leads to that, So don't lust. Don't have lust in your heart. So we know that pornography is wrong. And that's just not a man problem. Women have that problem too. View pornography too. Statistics show. But people seem to think, now here's where, people seem to think that they know pornography is wrong, but they seem to think it's okay to go to the beach and take off most of their clothes. And the question is, how much is too much? And for this, I use Bible verses to define nakedness. Definition, we need definitions. We need definitions for salvation. We need definitions for Christian life, how we're supposed to live. And the definition of nakedness, I'm not going to look at all the verses for this morning, just say that nakedness is being uncovered from the neck down to the knees, not including the arms. So, if you have issue with that, or you want to discuss that, or you want to look at the verses for that, we can do that. So maybe you think a little bit different about it. Well, the main thing is that most of the body, in the middle of the body, is covered. No midriff showing, no back showing, the lower back showing. Yeah. Which that doesn't mean that it's right, but there's more of a chance that it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 50s, yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. Not that you have to have a head cover, but yeah, yeah. Well, the main thing was, necklines were not way down here. They're yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. No, no. Yeah. Yeah. Unless you go to a deserted beach. Or go whenever it's cold. That's what my wife and I did. November. Yeah. I mean, I won't even watch, Fox News. Those ladies on Fox News are immodest, low necklines. They're sitting there with their dresses halfway up their legs, their thighs. Yeah. I wouldn't watch Fox News anyhow. I don't do that. But that's a different story. But dresses, yeah, should be down past the kneecap. That's so. Even at stores, the parks, sporting events, in the backyard where everyone can see you, you should be dressed modestly. Stay away from places where people are immodest. I used to go to Trent, to the beach there. Don't do that anymore. This means besides two-piece swimsuits, that we know that's immodest. Also, one-piece swimsuits that come up the leg. It means don't wear clothing that is revealing. It means women don't wear pants, tight clothing. A woman wears loose pants. They look masculine. They wear tight pants. It's provocative. Don't think, well, no one wants to look at me anyhow. You never know. That means don't look at television programs where people are improperly dressed, magazines, billboards, anything. Don't look at them. Don't encourage these. Don't allow them. Sometimes I use pictures up here on the screen for Sunday school. And some of the pictures have people that were improperly dressed. So, no, I'm not going to use that. It's just a little bit, and I'm not, I'm not trying to show it or anything, but I'm not going there, not giving it an inch. So this is why many do have trouble with lust, because they let it creep in. And there is a thing called soft pornography. So hardcore pornography, we know that's wrong. Softcore would be everything that I just described, everything that people think is okay. All right, so you can think, well, I'm not looking at pornography, I'm just looking at lingerie, or I'm looking at swimwear. That's pornography. Men know what I'm talking about. Some women don't know what I'm talking about. Don't say that men are dirty because they have those kind of thoughts. It's just the way men are. It's the way God made them. And you can't say, well, they just shouldn't have lust in their hearts. Well, that'd be like taking a piece of meat and waving it in front of a dog. So, look at the Amish. They don't have any trouble with this. What do? They keep themselves covered. Now, there will be ones who will say, well, a man could have lustful thoughts even if a woman was covered from head to toe. That's a cop-out. If he does, it's probably because of remembering what he has seen in the past. So don't use that as an excuse. All right, so don't lust. It's one of Jesus' commands. Just don't do it. within the bounds of marriage, there is, the marriage bed is undefiled. Whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. So don't lust. All right, next. Verse 29. I was hoping to get through this. We'll try to do it quickly. Verse 29, and if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. Now I'm going to sum up with instruction: cleanse yourself of evil. All right, this is Jesus' instruction. Not in these words, but cleanse. So, cleanse. Cleanse yourself. If you have to pluck out your eye, cut off your hand, cut off your foot. Now, there's a better way to do it. With TV, you can cut the cord. Internet, you can cut the cord if you have to. So, cable, I did that years ago. We don't have cable TV. Commercials are awful. Nudity, we already defined that. If it causes sin, then don't have access to it. Sin to the max, HBO, home body odor, etc., etc. Just don't subscribe to those. Don't have that available. Internet, use filters, whatever filtering you need. If you need help with that, try to help you with that. There's a filter called Pluck Eye that you can get. Pluck Eye. Yeah, just like in the Bible here. If your eye offend you, pluck it out. Pluck Eye, whatever you need to do. Cut it off. Don't have access to it. So if you need help, I can show you free filtering you can use. Actually, everyone should have filtering because the nudity, which isn't considered nudity, it'll show up. Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Yeah. Then if your hand offends you, pick up a cigarette, cut it off. Not your hand, cut off the cigarette. You could cut off the cigarette. Don't have cigarettes around you. If you don't have them, you won't be able to smoke them. So don't have them around you. Alcohol, if you have trouble with that, don't have it in your refrigerator. So people, they say, oh, I can't help myself. I have trouble with drinking. Don't have it in your refrigerator. Don't have it in your cupboard. If you do, then call Audra. She'll come to your house and she'll pour it down the drain. I'll do that too. Don't have it outside your house in a cooler. I know somebody that did that. Don't go where it is. Take a different path. In Proverbs 7, it says about the man that went to the harlot. He says that he passed through the street near her corner. He went the way to her house. So he didn't intend to do that, but because he went that direction, then she caught him and kissed him, and she got him to sin. So don't go that way. Avoid temptations. Gambling, stay away from it. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners. That's James chapter 4, verse 8. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners. All right, anybody write those down? You got them? Good. All right, we've got a whole bunch more to cover in the weeks ahead. Next week, we'll finish up with chapter 5 of Matthew, chapter 6, and chapter 7. So they're all